Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Serge. I hope you're doing okay. So today I wanted to cover a really important question that we need to answer and address actually when it comes to health in women is the intake of protein. So this is a confusion, especially women actually, they tend to be more vegetarian or more vegan for some reasons. So we need to address what could be the consequences to adapt one of those diet on muscle mass specifically. So in this paper, we can see relationship between animal protein intake and muscle mass index in healthy women. We can see at the bottom the conclusion is a vegetarian diet associated with a lower muscle mass index than an omnivorous diet at the same protein intake. This is really important, right? So they compare people, women who eat the same amount of protein, but one of them are more, one group of people were more vegan, vegetarian, than the one will eat a little bit more of everything. So despite the same amount of protein intake, the vegetarian, vegan women were weaker. Their muscle mass would go down. So that's important to realize that if you're a woman, actually for anyone, you need to typically increase your protein intake. I know it sounds crazy what I'm saying, but I see that every day. So I've helped more than 3,300 people over 15 years. And every time we increase protein intake, people start feeling better. So the point of that, people are deficient in amino acids, in protein. The concept behind that is you need to look at how well your body digests processed protein. Most of the time, almost 100% of the time, actually, clinically, what I see is people do not process, digest protein, fats, and carbs really well. They have some type of GI issues. It could be a leaky gut issue, it could be low acid, it could be a liver issue. I mean, it could be anything related to the GI tract. But when we fix all that and you increase your protein, your body starts healing and doing better. It's really impressive, actually, especially in women. Like I said, women tend to be more prone to follow this kind of diet and they tend to have more issues. I see it every week. Young women, teenager, young adults who follow a vegan, vegetarian diet and they start having all kinds of issues over the years. As a matter of fact, one of my clients last week came, um, early 20s, been vegan for years and years, and started to have hormonal issues and all kinds of problems with her thyroid, adrenals. And I convinced her to add some eggs to her diet, just one egg a week, a day. And just by adding some animal fat, she started improving her hormones sync. She started to have cycle again, and her moods improve, her energy improve, her skin improve, just a matter of a few weeks. So because of hormonal reasons, women are more sensitive to a lack of animal protein. And my key point I wanted to address as well is these two diets were similar when it comes to protein intake. So what's the difference in that case? The big difference is vegan vegetarian have a high intake of anti-nutrients like lectins we find in beans and grains, for example, oxalates that we find in greens, in chocolate, in nuts, for example, and phytic acid that we find in nuts, grains, and so on. So those anti-nutrients molecules impact digestion, absorption. So it does lead to deficiencies in the body. And this study actually demonstrates that or supports this concept that if you have a high intake of anti-nutrients, you're most likely going to develop deficiencies over time and having all kind of problems. So at the end of the day, we have evolved to eat a diet with animal protein. Some people claim that we should be more carnivore-ish, having more animal protein and animal fats in the diet. Some people say that we're more paleo type. We eat some animal protein, some fats, and some paleo foods, for example. All diets may be okay. It depends on your body's chemistry. But at the end of the day, you need to include animal protein in your diet in order to reach optimal health. This is a given. This is what the science shows, and this is what I've seen clinically with patients. Every time you increase fat and animal proteins, they start suddenly getting better within a few weeks. And it's impressive. And one of my clients said last week that it's unbelievable how fast I'm improving just by eating more protein. Unbelievable. So let's do this. Don't be concerned with anything else. Increase your animal protein, good quality, of course, the grass fed, the organic, and so on. This is important to know. But most people, which I'm going to get back to that concept, most people do not eat enough animal protein. Take care, guys. Have a good one.